I always looked at it as a little bit of a differentiator because in some worlds that we live in, some firms aren't allowed to talk about tax.
Right.
Um, and some and you know, as I watch the world of fintechs, you're not necessarily saying, "Hey, don't use that planning software." We just help you do it better so that you can do your job. But we're now dealing with. I saw the full wealth generation. It's on. Yeah, we're now dealing with 1.4 trillion a year's passing hands.
Right.
And the way I always saw it was, how could I possibly incorporate planning when I'm a wealth manager and I've really kind of set my fee schedule is what it is. I'm
Mhm.
now trying to
Add more services.
add more services, and a lot of the other services take a tremendous amount of uplift, but assuring that you have the right information from a tax standpoint and knowing where all the other assets are, this just seemed to be the easiest way that I could do it seamlessly and really do my job as a professional as well as multi-generational, you know, things. So it just seemed to check all the boxes for me.
It's foundational for sure. So if you base your planning on faulty foundation, we know that that's not going to be the best direction that you want to go. The better you can make that data from the onset, so the more you know about that client, the better you can determine their risks. So as Eric mentioned, you can bring in their businesses, their trust accounts, their real estate. So things that you may not be managing day to day, but it is part of the client's overall risk profile and reward profile. And being able to contextualize your plan in that is so important, to be that fiduciary and to put yourself in the quarterback seat. So they might have 2 or 3 advisors and a banker, but you want to be the one that they go to for quarterbacking all of that. And over time, you earn that greater share of wallet because of it. First, you need to know about that greater share of wallet, do a great plan, and really improve the client's outcomes. But that's going to enable you to really take over for that next generation, get referrals, grow your business organically.
So as a fintech, it's a per account solution, right? So it is or per household. Is that per household? There's data that we're going to get, it, previous data. There's and once we integrate with the customer, it's forward looking as well. So there's what is it kind of walk through what the advisor gets when they integrate that client.
So when they ask for consent from the client, they're going to get a unique link that they send the client. It's going to allow them to give permission. We take that permission and we go to the IRS and request the data. It does take the IRS a few days to turn around that data. They're not instantaneously, unfortunately. Right now, they're particularly challenged. But once we get that data back, you're going to be at your fingertips. You're going to have a lot of tax information. So that 10 years of history for that client, we're going to pull out of all of that information a baseline report that's surfacing up all of this relevant data that you'd want to see. Relevant data from like the extracts of the tax return. If you're reading a tax return, here are the things that you care about the most to understand with that client. We're going to serve that up to you. So it's really easy for you to walk through with your client and to know and prepare for that appointment. And then we'll show you all their verified financials. So you're going to know the kind of tax related information to get you ready for planning, verified financials to show you where all their income is, all the income sources, every dollar of income that they have, even if they kind of forgot to report it, it's going to show up there, along with all their business trust, investment accounts, non-retirement, retirement qual. So it's a wealth of information to just have you super prepared for that appointment. Imagine taking that to a prospect as well. So it works great with your clients as you're doing quarterly or annual reviews, or you're onboarding a new client. But you can also send that link to a prospect and expand your ability to connect with that prospect in a whole new way. You can really tailor your services to what you're seeing on that baseline report for that prospect and
Well,
earn that business.
yeah, this is a fintech question, so we're kind of in this thing, and in the world of the kits and stuff, it gets all crazy. But man, I want to have tax, I want to have estate, I want to have wealth management. That's my quintessential, and I always kind of looked at TaxStatus was that quintessential piece that seemed to elevate me, but also, McKinsey did a study and they talked about fee compression. Well, I don't know that there's fee compression. I think it's service compression, and they want you to do more. So if you have 250 households and you really want to make sure you're doing a good job, hey, this is something that I think that would allow you to easily increase your service
Very
Yeah.
without a
Really,
lot of work understanding how, and a lot of, yeah, so sometimes fintechs take forever to learn how to use it. It's one of those things that it's hard. We use Orion, we use some of those things, and it's hard. So fintech, this seemed pretty simple to get into the practice and really elevate it.
Yeah, we aim to make it as straightforward as possible, Billy. And what we generally see is people will take the system and use it for, we'll say, the low-hanging fruit that Browning identified, which is just key to day-to-day operations. And then as people dive into the information and use the system, we've seen people expand from 2 primary use cases to 30 or 40 because there's so much information that people will kind of dive into and find benefit from.
Well, that's great.